This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
Pretty heart-wrenching story that I have today. There was a couple that was getting ready for the empty nester portion of their life as their youngest kid was about to move out. And they were getting ready for retirement. And then they saw a post online about a family, 7 kids, who lost their parents in a car accident. And I guess were looking for a home. They were in foster care at the time. This couple decided to adopt all 7 of them. So they've officially made it legal now and adopted Adelino, Ruby, Alicia, Anthony, Aubriella, Leo, and Xander, who are under the care of Pam and Gary, and they're legally adopted kids now.
They're going to have to wear some name tags for the first little bit.
Yes, 7 kids.
That's crazy.
Tell me something good.
Okay, this is really cool. Some new technology in regards to knowing in advance about earthquakes and tsunamis. So there are some professors that work in geophysics at Caltech. This guy, Zongwen, and his colleagues have come up with a way to analyze the light traveling through the ocean's lit fibers. In other words, existing and functioning submarine cables, which they can then detect an earthquake and the ocean waves without the need for any additional equipment that can be really expensive.
Huh. So that can give people a heads up.
A huge heads up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me something good.
How smart are some people in the world that, I didn't even understand what you were saying, let alone they've developed the concept.
So there's wires at the bottom of the ocean, but this is a better version of it. I don't know.
Play 107.
Have you ever received a weird love language gift? And it could be someone you just started seeing. Mm-hmm. I remember I got 12, I'm not kidding, 12 different Butter Bomb lotion packages from a guy. And he was the one that had dry skin. I was like, why do I need 12 of these? I'm actually...
Well, maybe he was hoping that you'd put it all on, lather yourself, and then you guys could hug.
Yeah, we broke up shortly after that. But that was his love language. It's all he knew.
Right.
Because he was dry. He was like, maybe she'd appreciate some lotion.
That's the tricky thing if you don't know someone real well.
Right.
And buying for them can be uncomfortable. Sandy hit us up and said a guy dropped off flowers and wine to her at her workplace after they had chatted a couple times online. She said, I had been sober for years. All my coworkers were convinced I fell off the wagon.
And she was probably allergic to lilies. So neither of them worked.
Right? I think you have to get to know somebody a bit before you buy gifts for them. This girl that's going viral on Twitter shared a story.
Yeah, so her name's Devil Meadow, and she posted a photo saying, my little sister went on a date with a young farmer tonight. He decided to gift her, when they parted, with a 12-kilogram wheel of cheese. So it's a photo of them sitting together enjoying this massive wheel of cheese and laughing so hard. Because what are you going to do with that?
That's like 26 pounds of cheese.
My favorite thing about this tweet is it went so viral that Velveeta Cheese responded in all caps saying, lock him down.
Awesome.
But can you imagine being like, oh, Mom, that's so nice, but I'm actually lactose intolerant.
Or I'm sorry, but I don't have the fridge space for this. It is time for Verbal Diaries.
So I have a separate Instagram account called Lisa's Ladies YEG, and just where women can reach out if they ever have any questions for the community of women that follow it, and it could be about anything. But I also started a book club because I thought it would be really cool to get together every couple months and just do something fun. But with COVID, we can't hang out.
I went to one of your book club meetings.
You did.
Well, kind of. I was just in the area, so I stopped in to say hello, and you guys weren't talking about the books at all.
Well, that's the best part about this book club is we talk about the book for about 4 minutes.
And then you were talking about men.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
Anyway, I got a message to this account the other day that said, "Hi, Lisa. I'm new to Edmonton. I'd love to meet some new friends. I'm 34. I have a 16-year-old daughter. I know that there's COVID, but I do love to be outdoors. I was told to join your awesome page in hopes that it may help." So I decided, okay, we're not meeting for book club, but we're going to do a Zoom call this upcoming Sunday. So I've created that. But now, after creating the Zoom meeting, I'm terrible at organizing things. I'm so anxious and will continue to be leading up to Sunday, hoping that the Zoom room even works. Mm-hmm. If anyone's listening that works in an industry where you have to do the Zoom call or lead it, are you so scared all the time leading it? Because I'm nervous to be the host of this, especially with new people in town. I want to impress her. And then when it does work, I'm then going to turn my anxiety to, is everyone having a good time? Is this fun?
So in other words, you probably shouldn't have started a book club.
I know.
Yeah.
Half of the women don't even read the book. They're just there to hang out. So that helps that we can move on from the book really quick. Okay. But I'm just constantly scared that people aren't having a good time. I'm not hosting a good enough event. Anyway, if you want to come to my quote-unquote book club Zoom this Sunday, maybe meet some new friends here in Edmonton and area, hit us up on the text line. You can come, and maybe you can talk more than me so I'm less scared. Thank you.
All right, my verbal diary today, something just really disappointing that happened yesterday. I thought I invented like one of the coolest foods of all time. It was a wrap that I used like Ichiban noodles in. It had cooked vegetables as well.
Chicken,
sriracha.
So good. It was delicious.
Thank you. But I posted about it, and I got about 700 messages that said, "That's just a badass Jack's."
Okay, it's not your fault. When's the last time you went to Badass Jack's? You forgot it existed.
The 90's? Like, I don't remember going to Badass Jack's in quite some time, but I remember how good it was.
There was one in St. Albert, and it was so good.
And now that I'm reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, that's literally exactly what they do. They grill a wrap with noodles, vegetables, and chicken in it.
Oh, were you so embarrassed? Because you were so proud. You're like, I'm going to post this to my Instagram story. I Googled it. These wraps don't exist.
They do.
I have some very close girlfriends of mine that are fashionistas, so I trust what they say when it comes to upcoming fashion. My friend Jill let me know that sweat shorts are the latest fashion trend for this spring/summer.
So like sweatpants shorts?
Correct. So if you go to Aritzia's website, you can see that they have these beautiful neutral colors with a matching top. So it could be a tank top, it can be a crop sweatshirt, but the main focus right now are sweat shorts. This is very exciting for us because comfort is in. Mm-hmm. Now, you could go to Aritzia and get these bougie sweat shorts, but I have done my research, and you can find them elsewhere for much cheaper.
Yeah, like cut off your sweatpants that are too short for you now?
Yeah, I guess. Those are a bit too bulky, though.
Or the ones with like the cigarette holes in the shin?
Yeah. But no, if you go to places like I saw Hudson's Bay had them on for $29. You could go to Ardennes or Ardennes if you are bougie, you know how to say that properly. H&M has them right now. You
Old
could even
Navy.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Superstore. Joe Fresh has some awesome sweat shorts. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know because I got informed of what will be fashionable, and it's matching sweat shorts with a t-shirt, tank, or sweatshirt.
Well, you never know when you're going to need to break into some exercise too, right?
Also that.
Like, and this is way more convenient to exercise in than like jean shorts, which can be quite tricky. And they rub in the wrong spots. The sweat shorts are always ready for some exercise.
I think we should give a round of applause because comfort is here. It's here to stay.
107.
We've come up with a list of things that you've probably done in and around Edmonton over the last couple decades that should give you reassurance when thinking about getting the vaccine.
Yeah, so we'll just go back and forth with the lists that we've compiled. If you've ever shared a beer bong with a campsite of strangers at Big Valley Jamboree, you shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
If you've ever been to a public pool in Edmonton on free swim day, You shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
Didn't you see someone there who was literally wearing their jeans in the water?
Yeah, and there was a guy with running shoes in the hot tub.
He for sure had athlete's foot.
Yeah, or worse.
If you've ever gone to Dollar Draft Night at Ezzy's, Tuesday, and then danced in the cage, you shouldn't worry about what's in the vaccine.
If your grandma wiped your face with a used tissue from her purse,
Ew.
you shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
I can't believe people used to just roll around with handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs? Handkerchiefs.
Yeah,
And
somewhere
they'd
in there.
reuse them over and over again. That's gross. And then they'd be in the laundry with your clothes, like your dad's hanky. Ugh. You don't need to worry about what's in the vaccine. If you've ever swam in the North Saskatchewan River, you shouldn't worry about what's in the vaccine.
If you drank Orbit's Pop and survived, you shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
If you've ever eaten olives out of a grocery store olive bar, you don't have to worry about what's in the vaccine.
If you've worn flip-flops to the bottle depot, you shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
They'd always stick to the floor. If you've ever put your fingers in a 10-pin bowling ball at a friend's birthday party and then proceeded to eat chicken fingers immediately after, you shouldn't have to worry about what's in the vaccine.
And finally, if you got a snack from the Stratz 25-cent warm peanut dispenser, you probably shouldn't be worried about what's in the vaccine.
The peanuts came out warm?
Yeah, it was a warm peanut dispenser. And I still don't know how they did that.
Gross.
What's the not so badass illegal thing you've been up to lately? At 780-784-7107, what do you got for us?
I don't know. You go to the gym and everyone's wearing Lulu. So I was like, man, I want Lululemon, but I couldn't afford it. And so I go to Plato's Closet, and I don't know how I figured this out, but I just figured I'd give it a shot. And I went to Plato's. I picked out some stuff that looked kind of new, and then took it home, took the seam out, and kind of ripped the seam up a bit. And then when you go to Lululemon, you can say, like, oh, I have a faulty product. And so they'll replace it with a brand new one right out of the store, even if you don't have the receipt. So I'd go buy, like, $20 Lulu at Plato's, and then go take it to Lululemon and go get, like, brand new stuff.
Okay, you kind of sounded like it was plural there. How many times you pull this off?
I don't kiss and tell.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. We started talking about this because I'm a part of this illegal gambling ring on Facebook for golf clubs.
Well, and not only that, but there was an underground church gathering that isn't allowed.
You've been up to no good on Facebook as well. What like have you been doing?
Playing a little bit of bingo on Facebook.
Explain how the bingo works.
So there's like 20 lines up there. It costs a certain price. You buy in for your price, send an e-transfer, and fingers crossed, hope for the best. They play bingo apps live, and you see your balls called.
What?
You
go live and play bingo?
You can totally play Facebook Live bingo.
Oh.
So what is usually the pot that people take home?
It all depends. I've seen $5 a card, $100 pot. I've seen $100 a card, like $1,000 pot.
Whoa.
So it kind of all depends.
Are you up or down?
I prefer not to disclose.
Okay, that tells us everything.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
What do you think that means?
Down.
Some days are good, some days are bad.
Okay, now I think down as well. Aaron, what do you got?
I own a cat, and I do not pay to license him.
So what does that mean necessarily? I've never owned a cat.
Well, in order to have a pet in Edmonton, you need to license them. And I don't do that because, I'm too cool.
Do you know if you have to update the license?
When you move, yes.
When you
just
move.
I might have to now. So
Do you think your cat knows that it's kind of an illegal cat?
well, when he goes outside, he looks both ways. So
107.
I thought only fitting for the 90s at 9 to go back to the 90s for some famous Canadian TV shows. Now, if you're anything like me, you grew up with 4 channels, 2, 4, 6, and 7. And so your options were quite limited for television viewing after school in the evening. So you had to watch a lot of these Canadian TV shows.
Okay.
Some turned out to be amazing. Are you ready?
I am terrible at this. I remember one time you played the Vampire Slayer Buffy the Vampire Slayer song, and I didn't know the answer, and I got lit up from my girlfriend's group chat.
Yeah, this probably isn't going to go over real well.
Okay.
Are you ready? Song number 1, Canadian TV shows from the 90s.
This is giving me some serious field vibes. There's a lot of fields going on here, a lot of interesting hats.
Yes?
Am I on the right path?
Yeah. You're on the right road.
Road to Avonlea.
Correct.
I've never seen that, but you talk about it all the time. It's like part of your brand.
Well done. I didn't think that my little hint there, you'd pick up on it, but well done. Next. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know this song. Raccoons.
Incorrect. Can I give you another little hint?
Yes.
The host was a friend of the show. We've talked to him on the show before.
Jonathan Torrance.
Yes. And the show he hosted would have been... It was like mini Oprah Winfrey. Like, that's what... He, like, tackled serious issues. It was a great show.
I can't remember. Johnny Vision. John Vision.
John O'Vision. All right.
Come on.
Number 3.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay
This
for
isn't
long,
fair.
just turn around and I'm gone again.
I don't know what
Maybe
that
tomorrow.
is. The Red Green Show.
Incorrect. That was Littlest Hobo.
Oh, I knew it. K. That's the one about the dog.
Yes. How did you
A German
get that?
Shepherd?
Yeah. All right. Next
Okay.
up.
Is that the show where the girl's a clown and she gets on the ground and is telling the time with her legs?
I don't believe so.
Do you know what show I'm talking about?
No.
You don't?
Street Sense, maybe?
No, there was a show with a woman that had curly hair.
No.
And she would start the show by laying on her carpet that looked like a clock, and she would tick with her legs.
No, that's not it.
Okay. Breaker High.
That was the Red Green Show. I'm really surprised that you didn't put that together. Okay. Number 5.
I didn't watch a lot of television growing up, clearly. Student Bodies.
Well done.
I love Student Bodies. Did you know that one of the guys from that show is the weather guy in Toronto?
See, you can retain dumb information like that.
Yeah.
But you can't remember what this song was from?
There's a voice
On.
that keeps on calling me.
I never watched this show.
2 out of 5. Well done.
Not bad, not
Better
bad.
than I thought.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 106.